Welcome to Ride and Rally with Fix My Hog, brought to you by Dennis Kirk. We ship today.
What's up, everybody? I'm Nate Beck, and welcome to Fix My Hog, Ride and Rally 2021. We've been teasing a little bit, but we're kicking it off here today. We're in Prescott, Wisconsin. It was a short ride over from Minneapolis, and we are officially kicking off our cross-country ride on a Sportster. In this episode, we're going to be going from here in Prescott, Wisconsin, following Route 35 in Wisconsin, also known as Great River Road, all the way down to Prairie Du Chien. We're going to be spending the night in Prairie Du Chien, make some stops along the way, and then we'll be hitting 18 across to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the home of Harley. I've always wanted to ride my Harley Davidson to Harley and check it all out, the history there in Milwaukee with Harley. So we're going to bring you along for all the action.
Spending so much time riding around the Twin Cities, and especially on this road, Wisconsin 35, Great River Road, I absolutely love this road, the entirety of it. It changes a lot. It goes from farmland, there's dips through valleys with curves, there's straights, there's river views, there's trees. It really is kind of packing in all the different scenery into one road.
All right, we're here on a lunch stop here in Wabasha, Minnesota, just across the river from Great River Road in Wisconsin that we're riding down today. We're stopping at Slippery's Tavern and Ristorante. If you've seen the movie Grumpy Old Men, you'll recognize it. It is from Grumpy Old Men fame, which is of course based in Wabasha. So let's get some grub.
Not only are the views great on Great River Road, but every 20 to 30 miles you go through these great classic, old school, small American towns that really break the ride up nicely, like this one here.
All right, everybody, we've made it to Prairie Du Chien. What an awesome ride. Right along Great River Road the whole way, staying comfortable thanks to Dennis Kirk. We are going to hit up some local establishments now that the bike is parked, and we will be back on it in the morning to head to Milwaukee to take our Harley home. All right, stay tuned. What's up, everybody? We're here in Prairie Du Chien, Wisconsin, and we're headed to Milwaukee today. This is a ride I've wanted to do since I got my Harley 6 years ago, and I'm so stoked we're doing it on Fix My Hog, Ride and Rally 2021. It's gonna be a pretty easy ride today. We're heading east on 18 to hook up with 94 in Madison, and it's only a couple hundred miles, so we should be getting into Milwaukee with plenty of time to hang out, see the sights, and then we will also be in Milwaukee tomorrow, visiting the Harley-Davidson Museum, going to the Juno factory, and going to where the original shed was at the Davidson home. So we're gonna get suited up, get on the bike, and we're gonna hit the road. Luckily today here at Harley-Davidson, they're doing demo rides, so I am going to go demo ride a brand new Pan America and take you along with.
First jumping on a Pan America, you know, I'm so used to riding my Sportster or Heritages, lowriders, Road Kings, choppers. You know, my riding position has always been legs out in front and kind of stretched out. When you hop on a Pan America, actually though, the riding position is more like a sport bike. Your legs are tucked up under you and the pegs are a lot more narrow. So it was a little weird getting used to, but the riding position was actually pretty comfortable.
sport mode, and then she was saying we can flip over here into off-road mode. Now, Milwaukee streets that I've experienced so far have been they're a little off-roady, so let's see what this feels like on some potholes. The other thing she was saying is this bike, it likes to ride higher because it's an off-road bike, and when you're coming up to a stop, it will automatically lower, and you can feel it, and it feels pretty cool. All right, here's the pothole, let's hit it. The only time in my life on a Harley I've actually aimed for potholes. Wow, what a killer, absolutely killer machine coming out of the Moco. Sure, this suspension on my Sportster. What a machine. I am floored. The different modes they have on the new Pan America is rain mode, regular mode, so like your regular bike, sport mode, we saw how well that went, and then off-road mode. And like I said, I've never aimed for potholes in my life, and it just right over them. It was funny, I was hitting those potholes, and I was like, man, if I had this suspension on the Sportster coming over here today. But no, what a killer opportunity to be able to ride and bring to you the new Harley Pan America. But now it's grub time, and we're heading to the motor bar at the Harley restaurant. All right, so we just had an awesome lunch at the motor bar, and we're gonna now head to the hotel, check in, get settled in, and then head to Fuel Cafe, and we will bring you along with everything. The plan is tomorrow we're gonna go to the Juneau plant and factory, and then we're gonna go to the site where the original Davidson home was with the original shed, and then we're gonna come back here to the museum and go through it and bring you all the goodness. We've arrived in Milwaukee, we've got to the hotel, and there's actually a motorcycle-centric hotel in Milwaukee. It's called the Iron Horse, and it's awesome. If you're coming into Milwaukee, especially on a motorcycle, this is really the only option to stay. We have the Harley-Davidson Museum just across the bridge. You saw how short that ride was. You have Fuel Cafe just a couple blocks down where we'll be taking you next. But first, let's take a look inside this awesome motorcycle-centric hotel. So I'd actually been to the Iron Horse Hotel previously when I was here with Fix My Hog right as the pandemic was hitting, and no one really knew where to go because actually the governor of Wisconsin shut down the state as everyone was checking in. And the owner of the Iron Horse was so cool that he was like, everyone come here, let's hang out, you know, because the whole motorcycle industry was in Milwaukee. And that was when I, first walked into the Iron Horse and thought it was the coolest hotel I've ever been in. I mean, how do you beat this? Now, of course, many places bill themselves as like motorcycle-centric, motorcycle-friendly, that kind of stuff, but the Iron Horse Hotel here in Milwaukee has gone so far as they've put some of the best parking spots available for bikes. And the best part about that is they keep them covered too. But right now, we are headed to Fuel Cafe. Fuel Cafe is actually right down the road from the Iron Horse Hotel. and really close to the Harley-Davidson Museum as well. Fuel Cafe is actually owned by Scott from Mama Tried. Mama Tried is a chopper show that happens here once a year, and it started, I want to say 7 or 8 years ago. Of course, Corona kind of screwed that one up. But I mean, he wanted to celebrate. He started Fuel Cafe before Mama Tried, and he wanted to continue celebrating old school Harley, DIY, do it yourself, wrench on your bikes, that passion that we all at Fix My Hog have. And so we kind of branched out from Fuel Cafe, started Mama Tried. It's exploded. We've covered it a few years now. Make sure to check those videos out if you haven't seen them. So anyways, we're headed to Fuel Cafe right now. While it won't be as crazy as it is during Mama Tried, and I doubt there's gonna be anyone jumping bikes off the bar, which has happened, we're gonna go check it out and get some grub. So we'll see you there.
So Fuel Cafe has become one of the spots in Milwaukee to be if you are a motorcyclist. Not only do they have great food, great bar, bikes in the bar, and of course the parties during Mama Tried at Fuel Cafe are insane. They also host awesome bike nights through the summer, and it's just a great place to like roll to with all your buddies on your bikes and hang out and get some grub and just be surrounded by like-minded people. It's really what this is what the motorcycle industry is all about right here.
Good morning, everyone. We're here in Milwaukee, and we're starting today here at Harley-Davidson Corporate. So this is their Juneau address. It is where the original factory was. Up until 1973, they still produce bikes here, and it's where the offices are still. Now, this building was actually started to be built in 1910 from when they moved out of the original shed that unfortunately was demolished during the building of this, which now they have the replica shed at the museum. But today's Harley Day, so we wanted to start it here at the Juneau factory. Now, we all know the legend of the first Harley Davidson. It was built in a 15 by 10 foot shed at the Davidson home. Now, Harley's all about heritage, and that's why we love it so much. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take you on a ride from the factory here on Juneau Avenue in Milwaukee to the location of where the original shed was. And it's really not that far. They never strayed that far from their roots. So let's hop on the bike and we'll head over there. So here we are at 38th and Highland Avenue in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Right here you see behind me is a parking lot that's gated, and this is actually Miller Coors now, but this is the site of the original Harley Davidson shed and the Davidson home, where everything that we love was started. Now, as I said, we didn't really go that far. I didn't even make it out of first gear after leaving the Juneau plant, but you can see how much Milwaukee means to Harley Davidson. It started here, and then it moved to here, and it is still there 100 years later plus. So that's awesome. That is heritage. That's everything that we love as Harley riders. All right, so next we're gonna head to the museum and check out all the history there. All right, we're here at the Harley-Davidson Museum, and we're gonna go inside and check out everything from serial number 1. They have a bunch of bikes from 1903 all the way up until modern times, but one of the most impressive is the 1903 to, I believe it's into the 1940s section up top down a big road. That's really cool. So we're gonna check that out. They have an awesome board track exhibit we're gonna take a look at as well. So let's head inside.
So the first time I came into the museum was probably 5 or 6 years ago, and I still see stuff every year that I didn't see before. Obviously, serial number 1 is like the number one thing for me. I think that it is such a beautiful machine, and the fact that they came up with that so many years ago and they were able to restore it into this condition is just phenomenal. And it's, you know, I could spend 15-20 minutes just staring at serial number 1 alone, but it's stuff like this right here that's on the walls that the first time you go through, if you're not really thorough, you don't really see. But the amount of history they've got, even down to blueprints, original pictures, is absolutely mind-blowing. Now, it's really this era, like early 1906 through the 1910s, through the 1920s, where Harley made so much advancement in technology and design in such a small period of time that this is really what blows my mind. I mean, you're going from a belt-driven single-cylinder motorcycle, basically in a bicycle frame, up into, you know, you get the knucklehead in 36, but between those years, there's so many different models that you just don't know about until you go to the museum and you just see the vast amount of changes. and forward progress the Moco made through these early formative years that actually turned them into Harley-Davidson. The tank art, the early Art Deco hand-painted Harley tanks that are there are phenomenal as well. You know, and as people who wrench on their own bikes, seeing the early blueprints like this and, you know, the left side, right side lubrication charts where you had 47 lubrication points, that's insane. I also really like how the Harley Museum decided to include a lot of the the models that haven't gone down as legendary, like the Cervi car. You know, there's not a lot of, unless you're an actual original collector, you know, there's not a lot going on for Cervi cars, but they actually played a vital role in Harley's history, and that's reflected here too with all the army bikes and the military bikes that they have here, you know, explaining Harley's influence in the war effort, and then even going on to their board track racing heritage and the hill climbing heritage. You know, that really, the early bikes put Harley on the map, but it was things like this that solidified Harley as a reputable and amazing machine to buy, own, and really be a part of that continues to this day. Yes, of course, the early Sportster. I love seeing, you know, riding to the museum on my Sportster and then seeing the early Sportster obviously is insane. On the bottom floor here, they have a lot. They really go into the customization era of Harley, getting into like the 60s and 70s when people were just going crazy, like we see here in this double-engined knucklehead creation that's just, you know, out of this world, like showing there really isn't a limit to what you can do with your bike, and Harley loves that. Of course, Harley has cemented themselves in American movie history, as well as seen here and celebrated by one of the Terminator's bikes, the Fat Boy.
All right, and that's it for episode 1. Thank you so much to the Iron Horse Hotel for having us. Man, this is a great place to stay when you're coming to Milwaukee to check out all the Harley history. Not only are the rooms great, but the food's great, the staff's great, and I mean, how can you beat it when you get a shovel head in the lobby? So that's it for episode 1. We're gonna take our boots off, take back for one more night here before we hop on our bike and head to Lafayette, Indiana. Make sure you stay tuned to fixmyhog.com to watch for that next episode's coming. And again, thank you so much to Dennis Kirk for keeping us comfortable and looking good on the road. Until next time, ride safe, wrench safe, and we'll see you from the road.
For more information on products featured in this video, visit DennisKirk.com.